Hey, how's it going everyone? I'm White Pointer, and guess what? The gym minigame from Final Fantasy VII Remake is back in Rebirth. In this one, Tifa has the task of competing against gym goers in a Crunchers contest. I decided to do a video guide on how to beat Jules in this minigame, just like I did for the pull-up minigame in Remake, because I'd wager there will be some people that need help with this, since a lot struggled with the pull-up one. There's bad news and good news about this one. The bad news is that this is probably more difficult than pull-ups from Remake, because this time around you need to use both hands, and they also decided to implement the variable resistance of the L2 and R2 triggers of the PS5 controller, which gets higher the more consecutive reps you do to up the ante. The good news is that there is no trophy attached to it this time, so unless you are going for 100% completion, or you really want the reward of the champion belt, you don't need to do this if you don't want to. In fact, you can skip the gym completely, since it's a side quest and not part of the main story this time around. But since you're here, I assume that means you want to beat Jules, so here's some tips on how to do it. So the button sequence will always start with either L1 or R1. From there, it'll move right or left to the other bumper before moving to the opposite trigger, then across to the other trigger. So the first thing you'll need to do is just get the sequence in your head. And for me, the easiest way to do this was just memorize left, right, or right, left. Once you do that, you just need to make sure you swap between the triggers and the bumpers after each pair of button presses, because either way, you're hitting bumper, bumper, trigger, trigger. Just like Remake, sometimes you need to mash a button, and they've added a new mechanic too, which is partially holding a button and then fully pressing it. Now I think this is a big pro tip right here. If you take nothing else away from this video, take this away. Try to start the sequence on your dominant hand. That is, if you're right-handed, you'll probably favour starting on R1, and if you're left-handed, you'll probably favour starting on L1. This is because the mashing or held button will always be on the side corresponding to the starting side, and due to the use of the variable trigger resistance, you'll likely have an easier time using your dominant hand for that. So it might be a good idea to just restart the challenge until you get a sequence that starts on your dominant hand, which shouldn't take too long as it's a 50-50 chance. The button mashing is more or less the same as Remake, just with the added resistance factor, so I'm not going to go over that again. But new to this game is holding a trigger part way down until a green circle fills up, then pressing it fully. Now I know the tutorial says to hold it halfway down, but honestly I found that to be BS. Every time I held it halfway down, I'd fail. What I found is that you only need to press it slightly, like roughly this much. It's maybe a third of the way down, if that. If you try going further than that, you'll likely fail. Be wary whenever this one pops up, because the time it takes for the green circle to fill gets quicker, so keep your eyes glued to the screen to know when to fully press it down. And just like the pull-up minigame in Remake, simply not falling over won't be enough here. You need to actually make sure you're going quick enough. Gradually speed up over the first few reps, but don't try to go too quickly too early. You can kinda tell when to start putting your foot down a bit as you feel the increased resistance in the triggers, and keep an eye on Tifa's movements to try to make them as smooth as possible. Jules seems to usually score around 49, so it seems any score over 50 is your sweet spot for a guaranteed win. Keep practicing and you'll get it. Like I did for my pull-up minigame guide, I'll finish this video off by showing you my gameplay with a shot of my controller so you can see how it's done.
Just have fun with it.
It's almost like your muscles are singing! Where'd that come from?
You're crushing it!
Incredible form! You're killing it! Don't you ever get sore?
Great form!
Incredible form! Yeah, keep it up!
Yeah, keep it up!
Show up! Just like that!
You're crushing it!
Where'd that come from? It's almost like your muscles are singing!
Great form!
I can't get enough! enough of those beautiful muscles! Show up. You're killing it!
You're crushing it! Push through the pain!
Yeah, keep it up! Incredible form! Just like that!
Yeah, keep it up!
You're killing it!
How about we hit the shower?
So there it is, I hope that helps. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with my content. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.